What's up? It's Paul from Guitar World, and today we're going to be doing something that I don't often do, which is this is going to be an unboxing video. So this is going to be an unboxing video of Truetone's brand new power supplies, which are the one Spot Pro CS12 and the other one, which is the one Spot Pro XP5-PS. So let's get to it. Let's open these up and talk a little bit about it. Now here at Guitar World Studios, if you come here as an artist, or sometimes if you're just me and you usually have a pedal and you got to hook it up to an amp and stuff like that, I've had this. This is so handy. We've been using the one Spots, this little adapter, since the dawn of time, or the dawn of when we use multiple pedals. And if you use multiple pedals or just one pedal, the one Spot adapter has always come in handy for keeping your pedal efficient as well as quiet. I still have a pedal board with all Boss pedals, just like Prince, where I use a one Spot to power the whole thing. I still have it to this day. It's still quiet. It works fantastic. But again, as we get older and we start getting more and more pedals, we need an actual transformer or a pedal power. And Truetone is one of the originals here when it comes to making power supplies. And here is their latest version, which is the one Spot Pro, the CS11. Now, they also have a CS12. Now, keep in mind that this does not replace that. That still is in production. This one is really great because now has 11 outlets. And of course, this goes to 11, but don't be worried about that. Obviously, it goes to 11 because of the 11 outlets. It has 11 outlets with more usable type of voltages, on isolated voltages on each one. On the CS12, there was multiple ones that only have 100 milliamps of voltage. This one increases that. So when you have very power hungry pedals, the CS11 will basically handle your needs. But we'll open that in a moment. And of course, over here, this is the one Spot Pro. This is an expander isolated power supply. This one powers 5 pedals, and it's great because each outlet handles 9 volts at 500 milliamps each, which is fantastic. And more importantly, this can be connected to that if you need additional outlets. So it's a great thing. It's real smart. And I've been a fan of Truetone and the one Spot, again, since the dawn of time, since I've been playing. These are great units, reliable, quiet, efficient. All right, so let's get to it. Let's open up the CS11, see what we got over here. So we'll get all this out. There you have your Truetone sticker. Please unplug your one Spot Pro and not in use. Handy manual. We have here the actual unit itself, the CS11. And you can see this is a formidable transformer here. It's got a pretty good weight to it, powerful. And as I mentioned before, 11 outlets. So let's talk about that really quick. I'll show you what I meant before, how handy these outlets are when it comes to handling your power-hungry pedals. So what Truetone did, which was really smart, the outside outlets over here, 1 and 2, and 10 and 11, are 9-volt DC outlets at 500 milliamps. So this is where you plug in your 9-volt pedals that really take up a lot of milliamps, usually like delays, reverbs, or loopers, and things like that. Really power-hungry pedals that are at 9 volts. So they're on the outside, so it makes it easier for you to connect those pedals because they're on the outside. Then when we get to right over here, you have outputs 3 and 4. These are variable. So outputs 3 and 4 are 9 volt or 18 volts DC. And these 3 and 4 is at 100 milliamps, okay? Then when we move over to 5 and 6 over here, this is 9 volt or 12 volt DC, and that is at 250 milliamps. So if you have pedals that are running at 12 volts and need a little more juice at 250, you have that. And of course, the 9 volts or 18 volts with 100 milliamps is over here. So 3 and 4, and of course, 5 and 6. You can set this where these can be normal 9-volt outlets. Just make sure you plug your lower milliamp pedals in the 100 milliamps or the 250 milliamps if they're just a little more than that. Then as I move over here to 7 and 9, these are just regular 9 volts at 250 milliamps as well. So you can basically set everything how you want it. Also, what's great is underneath, right over here, you have the small little dip switches over here where it allows you to set for those outlets that tells you right here whether you need to set them for 18 or set it for 9 or 12 or 9 or 12 or 9. So you have that option just to run all of these at 9 volts if you want, or if you have a certain 18 volt pedal. So it's really great. I've always found that a lot of the pedals that I've started to collect and use in pedal boards tend to be power hungry pedals. And this is great for isolating the power and keeping those pedals running quietly and efficiently and safely as well. More importantly, if you get a power failure, this thing saves you from all that. So that's what's great. Also on the back, you can see over here is an additional outlet over here that allows you to, as I mentioned before, connect an additional expander outlet like the XP5, which I mentioned before, which I'll open up in a second. And there's also an XP8 that they make as well. So even more outlets if you need to, if you have a lot of effects. All right, next up, we have, of course, the AC cable over here. Also to note, the Spot Pro CS12 features worldwide input voltage. So this thing uses switching power supply technology, which means you can use this anywhere in the world. And what's great here is Truetone supplies you with brackets and mounting hardware to mount to a pedal train pedal board. Of course, I've done this before. I have a few pedal train pedal boards, and I've racked this up underneath the pedal board, and sometimes I've had ones where I've put it on top. So whatever your choice is. The included pedal train pedal board mounting brackets really helps you keep it nice and tidy. And then finally, we have all the connectors to basically connect a wealth of pedals that you'll want to hook up to this Spot Pro CS12. So you have pretty much everything you need here. This comes with all the proper cables to connect your favorite pedals, and even some of the hard vintage ones. It's all included here. So you have plenty of hookup for the CS12. Moving over here, let's take a look real quick at the Spot Pro XP5. This is the expansion power supply. Now, this is also great because it comes with its own AC adapter as well. It comes with the necessary cables to hook up to your favorite pedals. It has also different adapters, no matter what country you're in. And then you'll see here the XP5. This is great if you don't use a lot of pedals or have a smaller pedal board. This really, really comes in handy. You can just, the smaller pedal boards where you only have 3 or 4 pedals, you have the option, of course, of handling up to 5 pedals with isolated output power for each effect. And the great thing is each outlet has a maximum of 500 milliamps, so a lot of juice for each outlet. And as I mentioned before, you can take this, if you have say you need more than just 11 outlets, you can connect the Spot Pro via the back of the CS12 to this and mount this both on your board. Now I have 16 outlets that I get to deliver clean power to. So with that, I feel it's necessary for me to quickly just show this in action. I mean, it's kind of boring just to talk about this. So I brought some pedals with me just for some fun and just to take a listen and see how this thing works, and why not? I have a Benson delay over here. This Univerb by J Rocket, I believe. There's also a Silktone overdrive and a Brown amplification Atom overdrive as well. So let's just hook up these 4 to the Spot Pro. Take a quick listen. You'll hear how quiet and efficient it is, but it really it manages all the power to your pedals, and it delivers the power safely and quietly, and as I said before, efficiently. So that's fantastic for what it is. And I use it on my pedal board. I love these power supplies. They're fantastic. And as I show you here, of course, it comes with all the proper cables and converters to power your favorite pedals. So all the power cables to hook onto the CS11 are DC cables with center pin negative polarity. And of course, as I mentioned before, if you need it for some like vintage pedals, there are converter plugs here that allows you to hook up, you know, effects in pedals like the Eventide H9 or 90, some electro-harmonics effects, and even the Line 6 HX effects as well. All right, here we go, the quick moment of truth. I have my CS11 One Spot Pro from Truetone, all hooked up to 4 pedals I have here, a couple overdrives, a univerb, and a delay pedal. I have this hooked up to the 250 milliamp 9 volts. Unfortunately, I don't have any 18 volt effects with me today, but obviously if you have an overdrive of some sort that uses, that gives you the option for a higher headroom to use the 18 volts, the great thing about the One Spot Pro and CS11 is it allows you to do just that. You can switch the voltage to 18 volts so you can get a higher headroom if you want that on certain pedals. Or back to 9 volts where it normally is, and you're good to go. Anyway, so you have that here. I also have the XP5 One Spot Pro from Truetone here just as a visual representation. Obviously, I can hook that up as well. But let's take a listen how this handles the power to these pedals. As you can hear, it's super quiet. It's pretty much dead quiet. And I have this guitar here on the humbucker. And then this is also single coil. But you can pretty much hear this is really quiet with these pedals. So I'll start here with the Atom by Brown. Turn it up. Let's add a little bit of delay here. Let's add a little reverb. Got the delay. So right now you hear this is dead quiet and like the pedals are working great with this. Let's have some fun. Add a lot of... So you hear it's really quiet. It's just the pedals making the noise and not power supply. Super quiet. Let's take that out. Let me just do. So there you have it. Truetone is an absolute leader when it comes to power supplies, and their latest offerings, the Spot Pro CS12, is just fantastic, just perfect for handling power-hungry pedals and a bunch of pedals as long as you have 11 of them. But even if you don't, you can always get the XP5, which is an expansion power supply as well, and you can hook it up to the output to this and power even more pedals. But if you don't need this amount of power, again, the Spot Pro XP5 is fantastic for players who have a smaller pedal board, and you have 5 isolated outlets at 500 milliamps each, which dishes out more than enough power to handle almost any pedal as long as it's 9 volts and at 500 milliamps. I've been using Truetone power supplies for well over a decade, and they sound great and have never failed me. So these new ones are definitely worth your time. So if you're looking for the latest power supply from Truetone, the Spot Pro CS12 and XP5 are fantastic. And of course, you can mount them to your pedal train pedal boards and use them with nearly any pedal. It gives you incredible flexibility for all your power needs. Definitely check it out.